dark skin you, uniform, under, up, arch, you, then N, then kun. Snug letters fitting perfectly together. Kun, N, nest, now, nexus, nice, always depth, always round in uppercase. Kun, N, a jagged, wicked, electrical pulse. Then soft, warm, kun, then t, the sharp, certain, tangy, texture, take, tent, tight, tantalizing, tensing, taste, tendril, time, tactile, tell me, cunt, say it, tell me, come on, say it, cunt, come on, say it, cunt.
As part of Eve Ensler's work to include the voices of all women who face violence, in 2005 she interviewed a diverse group of transgender women in preparation for creating this piece. Punishing the feminine was one overarching theme of the interviews. Some transgender women face violence from a very early age because they are so feminine, or because they show inappropriate interests in things considered feminine. For others, the violence comes later because they are not feminine enough. Those who do not pass as a member of the binary gender construct often get pushed to the fringes of society. This monologue moves from childhood through adversity and into the maturity, wisdom, and joy of affirming who they are. Women. This is, they beat the girl out of my boy, or so they tried.
At 5 years old, I was putting my baby sister's diapers on, and I saw her vagina. I wanted one. I thought it would grow.
I thought I would open. I ached to belong. I ached to smell like my mother. Her sweet aroma lived in my skin, in my hair, on my hands. I ached to be pretty. Pretty.
I wondered why I was missing my bathing suit top at the beach. Why I wasn't dressed like the other girls. I ached to be completed. I ached to belong, to twirl the baton.
They assigned me sex the day I was born. It's as random as being adopted, or being assigned a room on the 30th floor of a hotel. It has nothing to do with who you are or your fear of heights. But despite the apparatus I was forced to carry around, I always knew I was a girl.
They beat me for it. They beat me for crying. They pummeled me for wanting.
To touch,
To pet.
to hug,
To help.
to hold their hands,
For flying. In church like Sister Betrell.
for doing cartwheels,
Crocheting socks.
for carrying purses to kindergarten.
They kicked the shit out of me every day on my way to school.
In the park, they smashed my magic marker painted nails.
They punched my lipstick mouth. They beat the girl out of my boy, or they tried.
So I went underground. I stopped playing the flute.
Be a man. Stand up for yourself. Go, punch him back.
I grew a full beard.
It was good I was big.
I joined the Marines. Suck it up and drive on.
I became duller,
Jaded.
sometimes cruel.
Butch it.
Butch it.
Butch it up.
Always clenched, inaccurate, incomplete.
I ran away from home.
From school,
From boot camp
ran to Wan Chai,
to Shangwan.
Lan Kwai Fong.
Putong Chong.
I found gay people.
Wilderness lesbians.
I got my first hormone shot and got permission to be myself.
To transition. To travel. To immigrate. 350 hours of hot needles. I would count the male particles as they died. 16 man hairs gone.
The feminine is in your face. I lift my eyebrows more. I'm curious. I ask questions.
And my voice. Practice, practice. Sing song, sing song. Men are dull and monotone. A southern accent is excellent, but a Jewish accent is more helpful. Hey, friends!
And my vagina is so much friendlier. I cherish it. It brings me joy.
The orgasms come in waves. Before they were jerky.
I'm your girl next door.
People are friendlier to me now.
My mother was worried what people would think of her, that she made this happen. Until one day, we went to church and everyone said, "You have a beautiful daughter."
I got to be soft. I'm allowed to listen. I'm allowed to touch. I'm able to receive.
To be in the present tense.
My lieutenant colonel father ended up paying for it. My vajayjay.
Minus. No. I can wake up in the morning, put on my hair as a ponytail.
A wrong was righted.
I'm right with God.
It's like when you're trying to sleep and there's a loud car alarm going off. When I got my vagina, it was like somebody finally turned it off.
I live now in the feminine zone. But you know how people are with immigrants. They don't like it when you come from somewhere else. They don't like it when you mix. They killed my boyfriend. They beat him insanely with a baseball bat. They beat this girl out of his head. They didn't want him dating a foreigner, even if she was kind and pretty and that she listened well. They didn't want him to fall in love with ambiguity. They were scared that he'd get lost. They were that terrified with love.
Sex workers have rich, compelling, complex relationships with their vaginas. This particular woman blows my mind. She was a sex worker, but she only did sex work with women. The woman who loved to make vaginas happy.
Dominate them, to excite them, to make them. I do not start out like this, no. To the contrary. I started out as a lawyer. But in my late 30s, I became obsessed with making women happy. It began as a mission of sorts. But then I got involved in it. I got very good at it. Kind of brilliant. It was my art. When I started getting paid for it, it was as if I had found my calling. I wore outrageous outfits when I dominated women. Lace, silk, leather. And I used props, whips, handcuffs, ropes, dildos. There was nothing like this in tax law. Lots of excitement. And I hated those blue corporate suits, although I wear them now from time to time in my new line of work, and they serve quite nicely. There were no props in corporate law, no wetness, no dark, mysterious, no erect nipples, no delicious mouth. But mainly, there was no moaning. This was the key. I see now. Moaning was the thing that ultimately seduced me and got me addicted to making women happy. When I was a little girl and I would see women in the movies making love, making strange orgasmic moaning noises, I used to laugh. I got strangely hysterical. I just couldn't believe that big, outrageous, and Gilbert sounds like that can out women. I longed to moan. I practiced in front of the mirror on a voice recorder, moaning in various modes. But always, when I played it back, it sounded fake. It was fake. It wasn't rooted in anything sexual, really. Only in my desire to be sexual. But then, when I was 10, and I had to keep really badly once on a car trip, it went on for almost an hour, and when we finally got to this dirty little gas station, it was so exciting. I moaned. Oh. I moaned as I peed. I couldn't believe it. Me moaning in an asshole station in the middle of one time? I realized right then that moaning was connected with not getting what you want right away, with putting things off. I realized that moans were best when they caught you by surprise. They came from this hidden, mysterious part of you that was speaking its own language. I realized that moans were in fact that language. I became a moaner! It made most men anxious. Frankly, it terrified them. I was too loud, and they couldn't concentrate on what they were doing. Then they'd lose focus, then they'd lose everything. We couldn't make love in people's homes. The walls were too thin, like those in the halls in Donkey Club. I was beginning to get headaches and stress-related disorders. I was becoming hopeless when I discovered women. I discovered that most women loved my moaning. I discovered how deeply excited I got when other women moaned. I made love to quiet women, and I found this place inside them, and they shot themselves in them. I made love to moaners, and and they found a deeper, more penetrating moan. It was a kind of surgery, a kind of delicate science. Finding the right tempo, the exact location, or home of the moan. That's what I called it. Sometimes I find it over a woman's jeans. Sometimes I sneak up on it, off the record, quietly disarming the surrounding alarms and moving in. Sometimes I use force, but not violent, oppressive force. More like dominating. I'm going to take you somewhere, don't worry, lay back and enjoy the ride. And of course, sometimes it was simply mundane. While we were eating salad or chicken, just casually with my fingers. Oh, here it is, just like that. Real simple, with my fingers all mixed in with sesame oil. Sometimes I use props. I love props. Sometimes I make her find her oatmeal right in front of me. I waited, stuck it out, until she opened herself. I was not fooled by the more obvious moans. No, I pushed that, fed that all the way into her power moan. There's the clit moan. The vaginal moan. Oh! The combo. Clit. Vaginal.